Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more figures from the Black Series 6-inch line, and in today's review we're going to take a look at this guy. This is of course IG-88, the assassin droid bounty hunter from The Empire Strikes Back. This has got to be one of Hasbro's best Black Series 6-inch figures today. I am absolutely blown away by the amount of articulation, detail, sculpted detail and paint applications that have gone into this figure, and even though he's not one of my favourite characters, the figure is outstanding and Hasbro really need to give themselves a big pat on the back for this one because it's an absolutely incredible figure. So before we get into the nitty gritty of the figure, let's take a look at the packaging that he comes in. And once again we do get the standard presentation box style packaging for the Black Series 6-inch line. As you'll see at the top of the card there, we do have an image of IG-88 himself, and on the reverse side we've got a still image from The Empire Strikes Back, obviously taken from that scene where all the bounty hunters are lined up on the bridge of the Executor. So that is the packaging that IG-88 comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself, and as I said, this guy is absolutely amazing. Really nice figure. The sculpt is just so accurate to the prop that's used in the film. The weapons and accessories are on point, and the paint apps on this guy are flawless. Really well done. And one thing I've got to say about this recent wave of Black Series 6-inch figures is that the quality is definitely back. And if this line continues with these sort of standards, then I'm sure the Force Awakens 6-inch line has nothing to worry about. So, with that in mind, let's zoom in on this guy and take a look at him in a little bit more detail. Now, as I said, the paint applications on this particular figure are absolutely phenomenal. Hasbro have captured so many different shades of colour in the paint job, and it just looks so realistic and so cool. As you can see, obviously IG-88 is a more gunmetal colour, but he does have these hints and shades and various tints of silver and gold and all sorts of different colours, bronze, and it just looks so weathered, so realistic and just absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy with how this particular figure turned out. As I mentioned as well, the sculpted detail is just flawless on this guy. You've got all the points and probes sticking out of the head. Got all those nuts and bolts throughout the body as well. Wires and circuits, all that sort of stuff going on. Just absolutely fantastic detail. This really is a premium action figure. Really happy with it all around. Just turn the figure around, give you a look at his back. Some of that articulation and detail even does continue around there and looks fantastic. Just such an excellent job. Now in terms of accessories, obviously IG-88 is an assassin droid, so he's going to need his fair share of weapons. And as you can see, the most prominent one is sticking out of his back. He does come with this sort of axe handle, which does clip into the holster that is located on the bandolier strap. It can be removed, and obviously he can then proceed to throw that around like a madman. But it's a nice accessory to have. Again, you've got different shades of colour captured within it, nice weathering on the blade itself, and a very nice accessory to be included. In terms of firepower, IG-88 does come with the trademark long blaster rifle, very similar to the one seen with the Stormtrooper from Wave 3, and we also get an E11 blaster rifle as well. Now, one of my main concerns prior to purchasing this figure was how is he going to hold the blasters, because we all know that IG-88 has these sort of hook hands, and obviously with the weapons being sculpted and made the way they are, it kind of leaves you wondering how Hasbro really intended him to hold the weapons, but they've come up with a really ingenious idea. Obviously just holding them in the hands like that wouldn't be much cop because they'd just fall out, whereas Hasbro have actually had the initiative to sculpt pegs into the wrists of the action figure and put holes in the back of the weapons so that you can clip the weapons onto those pegs and they stay in place like so, which is an absolutely fantastic idea and really, really well thought out. And I'm really glad that Hasbro did that, because we would have had some serious issues on our hands if IG-88 hadn't had those. He'd just drop the weapons and wouldn't be able to hold them. Now obviously we do get a bit of storage for these weapons, and on the reverse side of the figure, as I just showed you earlier, we do get that holster there with the axe handle attached. Now obviously this is meant to sort of replicate some sort of fake leather material, and it is an open holster, so the E11 blaster rifle just slots in there like so, and as you can see, the magazine of the blaster just sticks out like that. The bandolier strap itself, in which the ammo holster is attached to, is removable, but obviously IG-88 never takes it off in the movie, so there's no reason to take it off with this particular figure. The articulation, as I said, is absolutely phenomenal on this guy. He really is packed to the brim with posability. We have a swivel at the head, we have a ball hinge and a swivel at the shoulder. So not only is the main joint on a swivel, but we've got a ball joint under there as well, which just allows us to pose the arms up and down like so. We also get a swivel at the... No, there's no swivel at the bicep, my mistake. But we do, however, get a hinge at the elbow. Now, one thing I'm really happy about with this guy, once again, is the fact that rather than sculpting this sort of crimpled up rubber piece and just adding the articulation point into there, the articulation point is actually hidden underneath this rubber seal, which gives it a much more realistic look. And as you can see, when the arm bends, it just creates a much more fluid movement, which looks absolutely fantastic. Obviously there's no articulation at the wrist, but we do get a sort of ab crunch joint just there on the torso, so IG-88 can look up and down. Sadly there are no ball jointed hips on this guy, but we do have swivels at the thighs, swivels at the hips, as well as a swivel just underneath that thigh area. So the thigh is actually located in two places. You've got the main rotation there, and then just underneath that plate in there you've got another swivel as well. We also have hinges at the knees, and once again hinges at the ankles. Now I am a little bit nervous about snapping all these wires, which as you can see do attach to the thigh and work their way down onto the shin of IG-88. When you bend the knee, that sort of wire tends to sort of strengthen and tense up, and when you loosen it, obviously it flops around like so. But when you do bend the knee, just be careful with that wire, because I do fear that it may be prone to snapping at some point. But other than that, there are really no issues with this figure at all. You know, the way that it's been sculpted, the way it's been painted, everything about this guy is absolutely fantastic, and I am really impressed with it, and I couldn't recommend this figure enough. Once again, if you want to add it to your own collections, be sure to head to the link in the video description below, which as always will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk. And again, at the time of filming this review, this figure is currently in stock, so don't hesitate, grab him while you can, and he is sure to look awesome alongside Boba Fett, Bosk, and obviously I'm sure the inevitable releases of the remaining bounty hunters from the Empire Strikes Back scene. So that is going to do it for IG-88, once again from the Black Series 6-inch line. I really hope you've enjoyed having a look at this figure as much as I enjoyed the figure itself, and I will be back with some more reviews on some more Black Series 6-inch figures very soon. Got some really cool ones to give you a look at next, so stay tuned for those. Until next time, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.